Welcome back, Rage Nation. Got myself Pete here.
That's not really exciting.
We got Senior Dixon.
I don't think that's appropriate.
And we got Monsieur Leopard.
Explorers deserved it. No.
Absolutely.
I was disgusted. I cannot believe they've done this.
Why is wacky? Why is that good? It's just nonsense.
I disagree on that. That's not possible.
We're getting the band back together. We're on a mission. Yeah.
Now we've got a whole new list of things to complain about.
Welcome back, Rage Nation. We are at it again. Got myself Pete here, and we are going to be talking about some Guild Ashes stuff today. So it's pretty exciting. This is the last Ashes episode we are doing. Finally got through all 8 of them. Definitely, it's been a ride. I'm really impressed that the Danger Planet people did it in a week. I don't know how they did it. But today with us, of course, we got Monsignor Dixon, and then we also got Nathan back on because he is one of the guild homers that just doesn't seem to leave the authority of the guild.
I need that comforting red.
I was telling Nathan before you hopped on that I am I get pulled different directions, but I'm so close to just going back to guard because I just love Dashel so much. Not quite there. Got a lot of other things holding my attention right now. Before we get into the episode, though, make sure that you guys are checking us out. You can do that on YouTube. We definitely have a lot of videos going out. I actually went through a bunch of old content and cut up a bunch of YouTube shorts for our channel. So just random things from our top 10 episodes and different bat reps and just different things like that. So just trying to keep you all entertained on YouTube. And if we get closer to 1,000 subscriptions on YouTube, I think we're going to do a pretty big giveaway. I'm not going to announce it until we get a little bit closer, but if you can like and subscribe to that crap, we're going to do a big giveaway once we get closer to 1,000. So just, be on the lookout for that. And then finally, you can support us directly. You can do that at patreon.com/RageQuitWire. And you can also use our affiliation link if you buy stuff directly from Weird and you want to support the podcast. Just go to give us your money, please. Thank you weird.com/RageQuitWire. And we appreciate any kind of support. And we, just cranking out a bunch of content for the people, for the good people of Malifaux, even you guild players who are the authority. So,
Authority.
You got to respect the guild's authority. I don't know what to tell you. Who was it? I think it was. It was Ben. Ben said that. He said that Nathan, you have. He has heard good tales of your bureaucratic competence as a guild player. Is the way he worded it.
Big believer in re-education. So
you've passed all your re-education seminars.
Exactly.
So before we get into going through these obviously new models, I did just want to kind of ask and this is both of you, how have you guys, the models that you have seen from the new Ashes for Guild, how is the general feeling you have about them? They seem pretty solid. Are some of them really good? Do you think the community of the guild players are pretty positive? Are they a little down? I like getting a gauge of how you guys kind of think people are reacting to it.
So since I'm the average player in this case, I'll go first. I love 4 of these models, and I like the rest. I don't think there's any that I hate specifically. My favorite one is Rodriguez, the marshal / witch hunter. But I gotta say that the freaking journalist is horrifyingly OP in my opinion, and I think only one other model, actually 2 models are competing for which one's the most powerful.
Yeah.
Ban Ying and Sidra.
Okay.
So that's my take. Now,
I haven't been impressed with Ban Ying yet. I'm surprised when I faced it. I kind of it's there and it's annoying, but it's not doing what I expected it to. But maybe, I don't know, it might be just needs more rounds of it. I think as a whole, we have some stuff to get really excited about. We got some we got more scheming tools to the point where I'm not going to be able to complain that Guild can't scheme much longer. We didn't. There are some things in this way that I kind of scratch my head. I don't understand what happened with them. It feels like there was a step in the design process that got funny, but as a whole, I'm very excited.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and one more thing before we get into the keywords to all the listeners, you can just type the words Ashes to follow with us in the cards search thingy in the app, and it'll only populate all the cards from the Ashes book.
Yep, and that's what I got pulled up on the screen right now.
Yeah.
So,
Although, just to get it out of the way, put the Crook skin because it's the only model from outside of the faction, and we'll talk about it like in a minute, and because I think it's not. I think
Kirk's skin will probably get minimal time, but we'll see. We'll see what Nathan thinks about the old.
Oh, you're gonna get me gushing on Crook skins.
Hey, why not? We're just gonna start there. I like the Kirk skins a lot in Savage, and I talked about a lot of cool things they do interacting with Euripides, and there's two things that I think as a Lucius player you could be excited about. And I think one is you can do ice pillars to basically set up for teleport points for Lucius. And then the second part is you put out a lot of staggered, specifically with Lucius 2. So you can take advantage of that with the Crook skin, and you can get a built-in ram to get another crit strike. So, I mean, there's some cool things there, but I feel like Lucius likes a lot of models, so I feel like I don't know if it's a model you're going to bring all the time. I'd like your kind of input as a Lucius player, because that's specifically what I think you play really well in Guild, Nathan.
So here's the thing I like on Crook skins. You don't have to hold a 5 of masks in hand to do sneak away.
Mm-hmm.
It just has to, like, you're cycling cards in that crew. You're oftentimes drawing to the point where you have to discard, especially with Lucius 1, and then you've got the sneak away card on top of your deck. Great time to activate the Crook skin. It's not competing for activation order with like lawyers because you're looking for a different thing on top of the deck.
And they're great schemers.
Yeah, they run and they scheme, and they're 7 wounds for 6 points. That's really, they attack move. That's fine. Honestly, if they're fighting, I'm not happy with myself. But I mean, if you really needed to, you could issue command on a Crook skin, send it 9 inches away with sneak away, and then hidden sniper twice off from it.
I'm going to be honest. Like, I said it also in the Neverborn. I do like them, but in Savage, but I tried them a few times, actually. Recently, I had an itch that I needed to place on Neverborn because of these new models. And because of Pete, specifically, I tried this one Crook skin with Lucius.
Uh-huh.
And I gotta say, I was impressed.
Okay, all right. I'm happy to hear that because I'm an apologist for the Crook skin.
Yeah, I don't think they're MVPs, but they can be played, and they actually do work way above their pay grade.
I was gonna say, I think they just play a role pretty well because they can just get to a spot and drop a ski marker, or get to a spot, be the outflank, and they have stealth. So, I mean, you got to go after them. You can't just like randomly take a pop shot at them.
So in my games, I think I only played twice because the example is basically the same thing happened twice. They went on a flank. People devoted some stuff to that way. I teleported Lucius in, and then wombo combo between Lucius, stagger, and their attack. And it was just like, oh my god, this is actually efficient. Because they're stat 7, basically, when Lucius tells them to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shockingly, they're actually very, very good.
Yeah, I think that you guys are convinced me a little bit that Lucius definitely likes this. Is there a specific model that you guys seem to like switch out with this model that you're like, oh, I'm going to take out, a changeling for a Crook skin, or what model do you see switching out with this?
I can tell you in my games, I just took out Kavatica.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be a support model. You really can't afford to lose your beaters. You can't afford to lose your changelings.
Okay.
So it's going to be one of those mid-support things, like a lawyer or a. So that's why it's a tough sell. I am realizing I cheated with it in like half my games. I was jumping changelings to them and their minions, but
Fair.
it's kind of a lesson you figure out when you're looking back through them.
Yeah, and
Welcome to Rage Quit Wire. We find out we cheated literally in the middle of talking to people. I'm probably famous at this point in time that I have cheated with a whole bunch of models because I keep messing up the rules.
yeah, and it's just I think that's kind of the fun part though about playing with these models is there's a couple of things that happen when you play a new model. You get excited because maybe the model you think it works a certain way, but then when you actually put it on the table and maybe reread the card, you're like, oh, it actually works this way, which might open different possibilities for the model. So it's fun when you get a whole batch of new stuff.
So famously, the pig that I call Hercules, it's the Erementhian boar in Everborn. I misplayed the crap out of that boar because I thought that it was you remove a marker within 6, one of the brushes. It was not. It's in base contact, and I did that for like 12, 15 games, and I loved the model when it was.
And
within
somebody
6.
corrected you.
Somebody corrected me. I played it, I think, like 4 games after that, and I was like, it's not good. This thing is awful.
All right.
So here's a question. I have an idea for them. With Kavatica,
Yes.
you get that called out, right? You discard a card to have another friendly model take an attack action targeting the same model.
Ignoring concealment. Very important.
Yeah, but then I'm not sure which stage you would test for range in that versus just agreeing that the action fails to get unruly.
Oh, because it says immediately, then the unruly would actually trigger first, which is
That's what I was thinking. So you can knock that out from basically you land one of those. You're like, I just want to heal the like.
yeah.
You could hit your own model with that and heal a Crookskin anywhere on the board.
Discard a card. Yep.
Yeah, I do like that bonus action that isn't always a bonus action because it heals you, and it also can be one that, specifically in Lucius, you can obey it. So I think that gives you a lot of flexibility with this keyword as well.
It's a nice design space.
Oh yeah, I think there's
Very honestly.
there's like a limitation. I don't think you can either hit the Crutskins or a friendly model for it, but you are right that you can just fail the action to heal.
Okay, well, good deal. So I think you definitely convinced me that it's playable in Lucius. Now, let me ask you guys, is the Crookskin, do you think, better with Lucius, or do you think it's better for Savage?
I've honestly, I haven't played against Savage in so long, I wouldn't even be able to say.
I still say Savage.
Well, I think because here's the thing about Lucius. Lucius is so flexible. Like, there's so many models you can bring in with his crew. Whereas I think the Crookskin adds a very good schemer to his crew that has a defensive tech that you don't see with the rest of the crew with stealth. And it's like the rest of the crew, it's mobile. It sets up, these shattering surprises, and I think it's just a good addition. I don't think you always bring them with Savage, even though I think out of the 10 games I've played, I always brought one, and I think there was only one game they didn't score me points.
I'm gonna be honest. I only played them in one game, but I agree with you because I did what you told me, Pete, which is use them to make ice pillars, and they just excel. Like, they are significantly
Well, they pair up with
better
Gigants really well, right? Because you can do Shattering Shove to throw somebody into an ice pillar, and then you can put them next to any other ice pillar on the board. And you also can use it to set up the Shattering Surprise with, like, a Gigant. So you, like...
I don't even do that.
Yeah, you can double walk and put the ice pillar down, and then you just go with the Gigant, Shattering Surprise up the board, double walk to a corner or wherever you want to be.
Yeah, I didn't even do that. I was using them to set up jumping points.
Yep.
Yeah, literally, because since they're stealth, I could just move 8 inches or be within the range of 8 inches for big boy rip, and that's it. I was just like,
And
teleport to
there's
the
another
thingy,
cool
that's it.
combo I did where I brought the Boltungan. So what I did is I basically use the Boltungan to interact, and then I changed the ski marker into an ice pillar next to the Crookskin, and then I used the action to basically do the sneak away trigger.
Yeah.
So then you just place, it's about 9 inches, and yeah, just get extra movement. It's just money.
So yeah, in Neverborn, I still think that they're good picks for the Savage keyword. That's in Lucius, it's not a wasted amount of points, but there are better picks in my opinion.
It's hard to turn down a lawyer, man.
But let's now I thought that this was gonna be like one and done. I apologize. Let's get back to the guild.
Yep. I mean, technically, Crookskin's technically guild. Okay.
Look, I don't believe that Lucius is Neverborn. He's loyal.
That's fair.
I agree. Red Lucius, best Lucius.
Exactly.
All right, so let's talk about these Marshall and Witch Hunter model. I think did they get 2 models in Witch Hunter, or they only get 1?
They got 2. They got
the
Ashbringer and their boss Hot Rod.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and start with the Ashbringer model. So this is going to be with the Lady J and Sonya. Apparently, they have some kind of urn that's just spitting out fire. So I don't know. It seems like an okay model for 5 stones.
It's actually very good in Sonya, at least in theory. I need to put them on the table, but in Sonya, they look very good for the points.
Okay.
This is one of the few I haven't played, and I can't get behind them. I mean, they're durable with the armor and all,
right?
But I don't know. They leave me cold.
So, just the thing that I did in theory to see if you agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Ignite. It is automatic whether they succeed or not, and that was the reason why. Like 100%.
Yeah, that's nice.
So you can throw them at people, and because they have armor, they have to actually dedicate something to them. In which case, you can then throw that trigger, automatically set them on fire, and now they have to deal with Sonya. So theoretically, I want to get 2 of these just to throw it at her, but
I don't see anything on this card that Lady J wants.
I agree. I did not see anything on the card.
And I'm a Lady J player. There's nothing on this card that interests me in Lady J.
The only thing I can think of is there is a part of Lady J where I'm like, if I could hit a Drain Magic 1 turn out of 5, that would kind of feel really good. But like it's clear there's an intent that you're going to attack with Path of Ashes and then embrace the flame. But that's your action and your bonus to get the heal with a TM on the Embrace the Flame. And it's ridiculous.
I would rather bring a Death Marshal.
Oh, yeah. I don't usually honestly use Death Marshals either, and I don't see these guys making either for me.
Well, me and Pete are fans of Death Marshals, at least one of them, with the title of Lady Justice. Okay. Holy moly, do they do work for 5 points.
I must put them too far forward, they just die on me.
Oh yeah, they're the second wave for me.
I'm too sloppy with them.
Yeah, I actually learned that from Pete. They're second wave for me.
Yeah, usually with the Death Marshals, I usually bring them more with the title because I like putting out coffins. And they do that very well.
Yep. I start copying Pete. I have my own style now, but like they do work for 5 points. Holy crap!
Yeah, they're no sleepers.
I'll give them another look.
But I have heard that Director Rodriguez is usable. Oh
yeah.
So I don't know if you guys are excited about this, but I see. Just looking it over, like I said, I don't have games and I haven't looked at all these cards yet. But just eyeballing this right now, I'm like, okay, there's some good stuff here.
This model is insane. And again, this is theory because I haven't put them on the table, but like, this is Carlos from what's his face?
Performer.
The Performers. Yeah, mixed in with a better version of Judge.
Okay.
It's insane. I love this.
Well, he costs as much as Judge, so.
Judge doesn't exist anymore because this model has 10 points.
Oh, really?
The Judge exists into Undead, and that's it. Like with this, I think, because I still think you like the Judge's bonus action into Undead, but everything else is better.
The bonus action is fairly good. I think setting things on fire on low defense model, much better.
Well, and into Lady J, no one brings condition removal. Why would you?
Exactly.
So yeah, he's a game changer for that. He's great in Nelly. Credit Ben Varnum on pointing that one out to me. But yeah, credit to Ben Varnum on that. He pointed that out to me. But he's great in Nelly, just an absolute machine. Because you put the burning on him with the totem and move him up the board. He can almost be a scheme runner if you need it. All of a sudden, we've got an option to bully a flank rather than just try. Like we can try to run past things, or we can try to kill things. This can do both. And I've never had that before, where you can do both.
Yeah, and this looks like one of those models that is just like it looks worth 10 stones as I'm kind of just going through it because, and unlike the Ashbringer, I mean, this seems fine with Sonya. I'm sure Sonya players are going to love Director Rodriguez, but I'm looking at it as a Lady J player, and I'm seeing you can put a coffin down. I'm seeing you got movement. You can put burning out. It has min 3 damage, which is super sweet. It's hard to kill, which is awesome. Armor 1. You could slap a coat for armor 2 and laugh off, because why not? So,
Yep.
I'm a fan of this dude.
This is one of those models that like you could put in the middle of the. Remember my strategy, Pete?
Oh yes.
About throwing something big at the enemy and have them deal with it. This model is worth 13 points out of keyword to me, so I'll definitely be playing.
This is a
at
Dixon
12
approved
stones.
model.
Yeah, this model is insane. Both defensively
put the sticker
and
on it.
offensively. Yeah, this is holy crap. This is good, and I just want guild players to be happy at least for once.
Yeah, I think everyone's. I haven't talked to anyone that doesn't think this is a very good model of guild players.
I just like his Flaming Fist is good, but he also has a stat 6 Breath of Fire, which is just good, with a pseudo execute for undead. But hey, with his Art of Undeath, he counts you as undead anyways. So,
Oh yeah. This in the title version of Lady J is cracked out.
oh yeah,
because
that's what I'm looking at.
yeah, he could just like, oh, I'm just gonna throw this random ram and just like you have to deal with it now.
Okay. So looking at these two models, so I'm kind of leaning towards the Ashbringer being a Sonya model. I really don't think that's a good Lady J model. I think I like the director in both, but obviously I don't play Sonya a lot, so I'm more excited for Lady J using him. I don't know how you guys feel about these two models.
So here's the thing: you almost, if you're going to use him in Lady J, you start thinking, do I want an Ashbringer to build up the burning for Blaze of Glory? So it kind of messes with the math in that sense in a way that I'm not sure how to handle.
Yeah, because you could lean like heavy into that, and you could even then bring something out of keyword like the what are the Cavalier Bowman dudes? You know, what are they called? Yeah, the hex bows. So you could use the hex. I would rather bring a hex bow out of keyword with director to set up his fire game like long range.
They're versatile, if I remember correctly.
Are they? I don't think they are.
No, they're not versatile. They're also witch hunters. So if you're playing Sonya, you can also make a list with Rodriguez, a couple hex bows, and Rider or something. You got yourself a list.
Yes, this could be just like a surprise. Oh no, you didn't know you had to deal with burning.
Yeah, I wonder if there is a strategy in Marshall between a recruiter and the Ashbringers, because outside of playing Sonya, theoretically I don't see them, which is a problem because I like their design. I don't know if you guys agree or not. With the recruiter, I'm sorry.
I don't hate that. I think if you're running the recruiters, you've taken they're already durable, and then once you kill them, they have to deal with a death marshal on top of it.
Yeah,
some good value.
Yeah. So I'm trying to wonder if there's some value there for either version of Lady Justice.
Yeah, I could see it.
I wish they could hit buried models. That would really
either buried or could attack them.
Yeah.
That would be like the chef's kiss.
Yes. That was my biggest issue. None of these models attack buried models.
Or bury you, specifically. Okay. Well, I definitely think that definitely a good start to it, and I can see that in both of them. Let's kind of go up the list here. Yeah, so we got some Ortega nonsense next with the Cavalier and family, and I don't know, what is this? Avel Ortega? Avel?
Abel Ortega. Abel.
I don't know. What do you guys think about this?
I guess.
Okay, I speak Spanish. Abel Ortega.
I'll church it up for you.
Do you see that? Now, there are a couple things about these guys. Number one, the guy with the gun on the back of his card isn't carrying guns. And the guy carrying guns uses his voice.
Fair.
Drives me nuts. Because even trying to proxy models, I got myself confused so many times.
I know their theme. I don't know if you guys recognize it. Have you guys watched a movie called Desperado?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas, I think it was called The Mariachi or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
El Mariachi. So these two remind me of the guys at the end of Desperado.
Two band members that show up.
Yeah,
heck yeah, I can see that.
That's what I see. But I don't know. I was looking at the rules, and I mean they're fine, but are they going to replace anything in the list? Are they going to improve anything in the list, in your opinion?
I've tried them in both keywords. They're fine. If you like the theming, you'll probably enjoy playing them, but they're not going to do anything special. They're not going to do anything exciting. I think there might be some synergy things to do with in Cavalier in a different GG where that 2-inch push will start mattering. But things aren't bunching up this GG. So, these guys are much better into a bunch up game, and this just isn't what they do.
Yeah, I
guess. Yeah.
I think family is kind of, I don't know, maybe you guys can talk a little bit about this too, but I feel like family is kind of in a weird spot. Almost the same with Sonia's keyword, where I think it would benefit family to get some kind of rework to realign them to some kind of purpose.
I don't think that. I think that they need a little tweak here and there because of whatchamacallit, Cavalier. Cavalier has proven that kind of ability is fine, but they seem to be they're just missing that little oomph. And it's not like they're doing poorly. The title, she's still, 53% win rate, plenty of games. She's solid. So, I there's something. You're right that there is something missing, but I don't think that they need a rework.
Yeah, I think rework was probably poor wording. I definitely feel like maybe more of the Chimera treatment in that we saw in last errata, where they just tweaked something down in the keyword, but also kind of buffed a couple of models in the keyword as well. And that worked really well.
You can do the Frank, just Perdita and Frank, and basically ignore the rest of the people. Maybe bring a Pistolero. They can do stuff. Frank's still real scary when you start putting those upgrades on him instead, and he's absolutely a menace. But the problem is, the way it's set up now, you don't need any more of the keyword, and there's not really a reason to do it. It's playable. I don't think it's going to win you any tournaments, but you won't go and have a bad time. So
yeah,
I don't know.
So nothing is screaming out to you guys about Domingo or Avelli. Just kind of I mean they're fine.
Here's what I'll tell you: you will miss the TN on the Maracanada way more than you want, and neither of these keywords have kind of draw to help you with that. That was the thing I really noticed with them. I never had any time that I wanted to use perfect timing. There might be something where you can jam up someone's deployment unpack with it, but I used them as scheme runners. They ended up being fine as scheme runners because of heat of battle.
Yeah, I mean heat of battle is probably the sexiest thing on this card to me.
Yeah, well, honestly, partner in crime, very nice, very useful. But they're start of edition models, and it's the end of the edition.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a fair way to look at it.
That is the best way that I've seen these models. Yeah, because like they're fine. These are one of the models that I was like, yeah, they're good. They're fine. I don't know if I'm gonna be like crazy about them.
You're not going to hate yourself for bringing them, which is, I think, a fine place for a new release for it too.
So, did you find, Nathan, that they worked better in Family, or did you find they worked better in Cavalier?
The opponent I was running them against was very different in both. They basically got wrecked by a single hanged in my one game, but I managed to run them away enough that they were able to get their points scored.
It's fair.
In the ones I ran with Tull, people are already not bunching up against Tull,
Yeah.
and they kind of just. I had to make hard choices of how I was going to use them, and it didn't pay off. So I don't have a ton of love there.
Okay.
It was against Riva, and you know what that's like. It's
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I don't know, Dixon. I know I don't think you've had any games with him, but I know you like Family in general. Do you think they could work pretty decent for you in the way you play Family, or are you just kind of like, these don't really fit kind of what I want to do?
Yeah, I don't fit what I want to do. I'm also like notoriously bad at Family.
I do remember you having some rough games with Family when we played.
I think I lost
Yeah.
like 15 in a row. Not just against you, but like against other people. I was really bad. I talked to Nick about it too. It was like really, really bad.
Like pre-nerf or like
No, with nerf. I mean, without pre-nerf. Yeah.
Pre-nerf?
Because
Woo!
the I played them 15 games in a row without any outside keyword models. Like I didn't have the healer or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was playing suboptimal. I was just playing family models and trying to figure it out. Anyway, but yeah, no, I think they're fine models. They're good models. I would probably pick them over like Santiago maybe, but like Santiago is also like a tried and true model. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Santiago honestly isn't making my list since the nerfs either, so it's I don't know.
Sorry to hear that.
so moving on, I am curious to get your thoughts on this model, Nathan, because I think this model is a house, and Clipper is going to be a good model in Guild.
So, full confession, I'm very excited about the model because I think the model's dope. My only game with it was into Jim's Dreamer 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
And despite the fact that, low willpower is a real problem in that game,
yeah.
Clipper was the only model that performed for me that game.
No way.
I got wrecked, but Clipper hunted down and killed a bunch of Daydreams and Wicked Dolls and did a great job. Everyone else failed me miserably.
That's impressive. That is impressive because that is a game where like nothing with armor stays alive.
Yeah.
I do want to point out this model is in 3 factions. Like, it's insane, and it's in 3 factions. We're gonna see this model a lot.
Yeah, I should play
So here's my
Arcus
argument
Hoffman
for
for
why I
sure.
think it's not insane. I'm going to tell you the reason I think it's not insane. Have you ever felt like hunters were insane? This is just a hunter with good PR.
Well, first, yes, I do think hunters are insane. I've had
Okay, then there you go. It makes sense then.
Oh, dude, like, what you thought? Okay, that is a flaming hot take. You think hunters are bad?
I'm not a hunter fan at all. For 8 points, they play like a 6-point model on the board.
Well,
I'm just not a fan.
Well, I just think that Clipper's better than a hunter, and hunters are pretty
I
good.
think so too. I think he's better because he ignores armor. That heave is incredibly valuable.
And fly with me.
And fly with me is great. Like it's. Oh, actually, I did use it one other time. I played it in a LJ crew, and it did great in that game too. It just randomly got me points like crazy, and
And I also
threw
think there are
all
some
right
boards
through
where
the field.
him having flying is also a big deal.
That's
Oh, yeah.
humongous. For 1 point, you're getting flying and like 2 more health, if I remember correctly.
One more out there. 100 or 7.
Gotcha.
Oh,
And a better gun, in my opinion.
yeah, that's probably better. I haven't had the stagger go off, but yeah, just the fact that you could throw in the tome for vantage point, gorgeous.
Well, I also think that when I'm looking out of the two, I'm like, this is fine for Hoffman. Like, Hoffman's going to like another big stompy machine. But I think this actually helps out Bass's keyword a ton, just giving it some more durability, giving something scary that they. I think the problem with Bass is a lot of times people would focus on Bass and they would focus on Uncle Tickle Fingers, whatever his name is. And they would focus on those two models. And the game was, can you control or kill these two models? Yes, you probably win the game. So the fact that now you have another decent model for Frontier to choose from, I think that helps out a lot.
Yeah, Reichert was not fast
guy.
enough. Mr. Tickle Fingers.
Yep.
Yeah, Riker wasn't fast enough to actually be able to cover enough ground to make him a significant threat. If you stood up and fought Riker, that was on you. At least in my opinion, that actually makes it an issue.
Yeah, now you can force the issue with Clipper.
Correct. Yeah, and even if you try to run away, his gun is decent. Like, it's not like the best things in sliced bread, but it is very, very good.
Well, and he also helps himself out too, right? Because the problem is when you bring these augmented keywords into different keywords, there's not scrap markers to kind of get, the benefits of the power tokens. But you can drop your own scrap marker with your bonus, so that kind of helps that out.
Yeah, you can put this in, as you said, a Bass crew, and then all of a sudden you have a scrap marker to make sure that the Peacekeeper has its bonus.
Yep.
And I think it'll be good. I think it does everything I want the Hunters to do. I think it's probably what I would say about it.
Hunter 2.0 for Nathan.
Yeah.
You gladly pay that extra point.
Well, that is true. Nathan does, because I think, Nathan, you have the opinion that the Watchers are everything you want the Hunters to do, except for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, for sure.
Right now, actually, there's a resurgence of models like that. The Watchers, the Dogs and Neverborn, even the Botanists are doing extra work. They were great before because they survived and stood still, but now that you need to move, they also move fast.
Yeah, somebody was actually talking about bringing the Guard Hounds as well in Dashel.
Yes.
They're actually like, I actually hired some Hounds because APs to go score points. Why not?
Jim was saying that. I don't remember the second part of the conversation because he said that it was two models. It was Guard Dogs and one more model to do the combo.
I don't know.
I don't hire them, but I'll definitely use them with the flamethrower guy, the DCU.
Yeah, for sure. So, do you guys think that Clipper is going to enjoy the Frontier, or is he going to stay augmented? Or both?
I think you'll see him more in Frontier. I think he's bringing the stuff they need a lot more.
Well, I just think that there's already some expensive robots, right, that you're going to pick in Hoffman. Like, you got Joss, you got the Spider Legs guy, you got Hunters if you really like those. You have, obviously, the Peacekeeper. There's just a lot of big, expensive, stompy robots. Melissa Core, I don't know if you're ever going to play a game without Melissa just because how good she is. So Clipper's going to have spots, but I feel like if I was going to go back playing my Frontier, I would always play Clipper.
Yep. Obey is still an issue for robots.
Sure.
If you play into a crew of Terrifying, I think I'll leave him at home, honestly. If it's a heavy Terrifying crew,
that low willpower will get you, man.
Yeah, like Daw. I'm not taking him into Daw.
Daw just melts him.
Well, and just know, and even the stuff that like you would be hitting with him would be like Guilty, have Hard to Wound. Everything else has Terrifying. Like it would end up being.
Yeah, I don't feel like you want to do min 2 damage with this 9 stone model.
It might be okay to take out the boat.
There you go. Okay, and that was the big model for them. Let's move it on. Let's see here. Do we have any others? Is this the rest of the stuff Oh, no, we got the most important boy. Do you want to do the Vanguard stuff, or do you guys want to do the Guard Journalist stuff?
Let's leave the best for last. The Guard Journalist for last.
All right, so let's do the Vanguard stuff. And maybe you can explain this to me, because I've literally not looked at these models. Let's start with Nathan's favorite model, the Battering Ram.
This model has. When I realized that it was only 5 wounds for 6 points, I almost quit the game. I was so mad. I was like, "What about this model is good that it would be like reduce wounds to points?"
Shields
And
up.
I really poo-pooed shields up when I first saw the ability, and it's really been working on Bracer for me. But I'm going to save my talk about that for Bracer. The only thing I've heard people say I think I can make work on this model is the take the fight to them. It's that +2 charge up to a max of 7, but because it's max 7, the stuff that you'd really get value out of it for are those top ends that you can't get.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not. I mean, I like that he has throw knife.
The 134. Ah, my eye.
Yeah. The thing is that there's not that many. I guess it's because you cannot abuse the shield thing. Yeah. If someone can figure out a way to abuse the shield thing, I'll change my mind, obviously, on the model, because that is 100% how this model lives or dies. Is the shield condition abusable with battering ram? If the answer is yes, this model's insane.
You can build up that shielding with, like, Lucius easily does. Crews that have pushes do, because a push is a move generated by a friendly model.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll get on its turn. It's going to get shielded too more often than not. Though you are having to spend the 5 to get there. Like you could get the shielded up on it. I've thought about it maybe into Raspy, or the other crew that I thought about against was Ma, because those pit traps are destructible.
Yeah.
But I gotta be honest. I'll buy the starter box. I like the other two.
Not the battering ram.
I don't love this model.
Yeah, I think Bracer definitely is like a model that I can definitely see here and there.
Wait, so Bracer is the same Soulstone cost, but she actually has 6 hit points?
Well, she's an enforcer.
Okay, I guess.
No, that is important.
The only place in the game where being an enforcer paid off for someone in the entire game.
Yeah, right.
No. They've been getting better. I will applaud them that they've been getting better where enforcers are better than the model of the same cost.
Okay.
Oh man, she has shield slam with a built-in collision. I like that.
Yeah, that's real nice. She's got Herald plus on the move. Like, I used her a bunch at Richmond. I like her. I printed a proxy. And I think she does everything I want her to do. She's an independent flanker that if I'm near a Soulstone model, that's awesome. Now, I do usually want Burrow with her, which is kind of a cost issue for the extra shielded. Mm-hmm. But that's where the shields up really starts to pay off for me.
Okay, and what role is she kind of fitting for you? Is she just kind of like get to a spot, maybe get... I mean, I can see a couple of things. It looks like she gets to a spot, she can kind of control a scrum, and then heroic intervention, kind of saving some of your models, generating some shielding to help herself, stay alive a little bit better.
Yep, durable on the flanks. It's going to cost more effort to take her down than she's worth. Than her points.
Yep.
And she'll get where she needs to go. It's a no flip disengage with on the move.
Oh yeah.
Like that's in the end. And if for some reason that won't do it, you have heroic intervention to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely get on board with her. She's got some cool tech on there. And her gun's not terrible for trying to like take out other scheme runners, right? So
I shot a silent one twice at Richmond with her.
Well, that's rude.
Yeah. It was great. It got it down to 2 wounds so Grimwell could come in and finish off. Like, it was all I needed her to be.
Oh, look, you like Grimwell just like Dixon. Oh, boy.
Oh, I didn't tell you. Yeah, I ran an asylum for 3 rounds at Richmond.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Grimwell does like insane amounts of damage. I love any model that can one-shot a freaking enforcer.
Rude.
Yeah. Have you ever hit somebody for 8 damage? Because I have, and it feels really good.
So, quick question for you guys being Asylum peeps here.
Uh-huh.
So, Grimwell cannot take Silas, correct?
No, he can.
He sure can.
Oh, he can?
Yeah, he can.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Silas has the Asylum keyword.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't mean that he can only put out one of each of the upgrades, and he can't put out more than one in a turn.
Okay.
And he only has 2 actions.
Wait,
for
so that means you
some
can.
reason.
So that means you can give Grimwell a leap. Is that a thing?
No, he can only have the Asylum one.
Okay.
The garbage one.
The garbage
Sorry.
one.
Yeah, the garbage one. The one that's basically there for you to build in his lobotomy.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Which,
Yeah, you
which
don't
is pretty
need-
good.
Yeah, you don't need to
Oh, yeah.
stone with the upgrade. You don't need to stone, and sometimes you don't even need the card in hand. Like it's that good.
Fair. All right. And is there another Vanguard? Let's see here. Yes, there is, with Commander Bura.
Mm-hmm.
So what does this model do? I don't even know.
Okay, so big things to know. Number one, resupply. Same thing that you got on
The cannons.
on the totems for Tall. Really useful on a random 7-stone hench. Especially because she has field kit, so you can pick up a low tome and then charge your own model. Throw in the low tome and you don't even have to relent. And who knows, you might get to a straight or plus flip on it because you're only throwing a 1 in there.
Okay.
Crushing Force is great for taking out a Incorp totem. Otherwise, it's not great, but it's there. Under My Protection is great value, but I never really get value out of shield. I haven't gotten value out of shield bullets yet. Remember, the mission is basically only useful on herself. She struggles to be close enough to the model you want to make interact to make that worthwhile, which is a real problem. But you can do it on, if you bring her in a Lucius crew, you can do it on a lawyer and get them to draw you a card. So you got some extra value there. So yeah, and I got pretty decent value out of Overload, even if it's just eating cards. I've managed to plink damage off most games I've played with her with Overload.
Yeah, because
So
I'm kind
nothing
of looking
like-
at it. It's like I don't see anything that stands out as like superb, but I see a lot of different things that could be. I wouldn't say corner case, but there's a lot of scenarios I can see with stuff being good. So she is a versatile, but she seems like she'll play very flexibly.
I mean, if you really, really, really want to play Bracer with Bura just to get extra card and shield it, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it will eat 13 points out of your list.
Yeah.
Yep. I usually set the two of them up on the same flank, but Bracer's going down the flank. She's headed like in diagonally to support the models that are close to the middle of the board too. But she did well for me. She's so far, she was one of the models I was lowest on coming in, and I've really started coming around on her. Don't miss that Crushing Force can set off Sonya 2's free swings with the minions.
That's true.
That can be really valuable.
Oh yeah, you get a thrall walking up to you and punching you in the face. You're gonna feel that.
Or Hot Rod now.
That's true.
Except for she can't push them. Hot Rod's not a minion, so she's not pushing that model. But her push will give you a card for the battering ram.
Okay. Well, I mean, pretty solid. So with these Vanguard versatile models, has there been one keyword that you've seen these doing better in for you, or have you tried them in several keywords? Like, I'm just kind of curious where they might fit in pretty decent.
I ran them with my Asylum stuff. I liked them there. I ran them with, I think it was Tull, and I actually enjoyed them in that crew. Even though that crew's got its own stuff that can go wide, It kind of wanted. I wanted stuff that could be independent, and
Yeah.
they were doing a good job of that. I think it's more pool than
Okay.
crews. Like there are a lot of crews that don't really just rely on their synergies very much in guild, so you can slot them in if the pool suits it.
All right. Let's see here. I think that was the last Vanguard.
No, we got propagandist right before the. Yeah.
Well, that's not a Vanguard model, but yeah, it's another versatile. This is the
That's what I'm
10
saying,
stone
it's
model
like-
that the guild has received, and I mean, if it's a propagandist, doesn't that just mean it's another Nelly model?
It
better
should. It should be, man. I'm so sad that it's not, because this model is awesome. Like, I love almost everything on this card except for the propaganda machine being a stat 5. That's literally it.
If they had given it journalist, it would have been a real buff for Nelly too, because it would have been much easier to give it extra focus,
Yeah.
which would have been really nice. Because when it pulsed focus, you can bring it back to itself.
Oh, it's so good.
I've run it a couple times. It holds space very well.
I mean, it's huge.
It does weird value things, like it usually gets you a card. It usually draws people's attention. Sometimes they'll give you focus. Sometimes they'll give you fake news. It almost always gets the shielded out. It just... The Vox amplifier action... I spend a lot of cards on it, and I usually regret it. It just doesn't do it for me. Misdirected Rage reads a lot better than it is
Yeah.
because of ranges and engagement. Hoist the Colors is... I mean, maybe that's good with LJ. I haven't run it with LJ yet. Or with Hoffman 2. But so far, like, I have used to drop scheme markers, which is nice. But
Yeah. It's
hard
kind
to
of
judge.
one of the... Because it's one thing you got to keep in mind, it's 10 stones, right?
I mean, you guys really don't value this thing? Is that...
Well,
are you
no.
serious?
Well, I'm looking at this like the first time, Dixon. So I'm kind of trying to picture in my head kind of what it's doing based off of what I'm reading and you guys are saying. And
Okay.
looking at it, you're spending 10 stones. Have you seen it, Dixon, or have you only kind of theory crafted it?
No, just theory craft, but everything in this model, like basic stuff, just basic stuff, bombastic speech, something you haven't seen in Guild before. This is the ritual from freaking whatchamacallit, Resurrectionist without having to remove a corpse.
Yeah.
This is Moss screeching and hollering and whatever. Like this AoE pulse in Guild is like, holy crap, can I set up, because like we always say, the bonus action that heals you and does focus is incredible in the 6-point model, right? This is a 10-point model with 2 armor and 10 health that has 5/5 stats and can do the same thing but slightly better. And it can also draw you cards.
I think the bombastic speech, you might have sold me a little bit on it there because, like I said, I mostly play like Dashel, or if I play Lady J, I'll bring minions there as well. But specifically with Dashel, where I'm bringing a lot of minions most of the time, bombastic speech could get like, I mean, you're putting focus on your executioner boys. I mean, come on. Come on.
You put it on Dashel himself. You put it on every single thing that you love and hold.
Well,
dear.
no, it says friendly minion models.
it's minions.
Oh, I must have misread that. I am so sorry.
You have your executioners 3, 4, 5. You have your mounted guard 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
You've got your guild sarge, which I want to say 2, 3, 5 and 2, 3, 4 for its 2.
You got the,
4, 5.
rifleman too.
Rifleman's
Yeah.
2, 3, 5.
Yeah.
So like you don't have those ramping to moderate attacks that really make focus valuable. The only things I think I can think of that are minions that have the ramp to 4 are the monster hunters and thralls.
And you said the rifleman because a 5 is still good.
Well, if I'm on a severe, yeah, it ramps to a severe.
Yeah.
But that's just
No,
I'm
that's what
always
focus
looking-
is for, though. Focus is to try to hit the severe.
I can't rely on a rifleman. maybe you could build a crew around Rifleman with the propagandist, but I especially I've tried a couple things to get value out of that, and I just have not. There's been other stuff I like about him. That's just not one of it. Like the bombastic speech is kind of cool. You don't want your models all bunch in one place in this GG.
Okay.
And
I apologize.
no, I mean, look, I want someone to figure that out because I think I'm getting this model. I mean, look at it. It's very cool, and in a different GG, I think it will be great.
Well, I think it flexes well though.
Good.
The vast majority of my thinking was on bombastic speech, thinking that it was all friendly models. I must have missed the.
You
minion
dare
part.
compare the propagandist to Maw Tucket? How dare you?
Yeah, no, I'm so sorry.
Or
But,
LJ. LJ's got my focus pulster on
So
now.
that being said, one of the models that you mentioned. Well, there's a few models. Like I still think that the Executioner and the Rifleman are fantastic models to give focus. Outside of that, there's the freaking whatchamacallit. We literally just talked about it earlier in Marshall. Oh my God, brain.
The
The
Death
Death
Marshals?
Recruiter.
Yeah, you got the Recruiter. You got you can do it on a Marshal if necessary. But like, there's a bunch of little guys. The Pathfinder. We said the Pathfinder, right? Is a 245 gun carbine.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, so like there are models out there that are just like scary when you give them focus outside of their activation.
Yeah. Pathfinder is 245. That would be a good one to use it on.
Yeah, so like I still think, and this thing is, I just want to remind everybody, 5'5" with 10 health and 2 armor. Like that is way better than normal.
And it loves a guild mage.
Yeah.
That is so true. I forgot about that. Oh,
Nihilism.
Yeah,
It loves-
I think there's a lot of good stuff on here that that are useful in different situations. I think the more you play this model, the more you find like where it really starts singing. Because like you said, it does drop scheme markers. It can do decent damage. The gun's okay. Well, it's not a gun. It's just an range 8 attack. But
I mean,
it spikes really good, right, with the 4 and the 5 blast.
it draws you a card because like you're gonna be.
And it helps you
parking
card
it.
cycle too.
It helps you with a 4 of Mask, which is a very low card to need.
Yeah, helps you cycle through some of that garbage sometimes you draw up.
Someone did point out to me another good use for it. Rage Machine is about the only way for August Hart to get past models with neg flip defenses. Because he doesn't like to use focus.
Yeah, because
So
he wants
this gives him
distracted.
an option
Yeah.
with Rage Machine to get past those.
Okay, I can see that.
I think that was Jeremy's idea, if I recall.
That's not a bad idea. I mean, if you're not using the bombastic speech and journalists, then you're at least using Rage Against the Machine.
Okay, yeah. It's I think this one's going to take some playing out because I feel like there's a lot of stuff here that's going to combo with certain things very well. And I think that's where you're going to see this model. I don't think it's a like I'm going to bring this all the time because it's super amazing in every situation, but I do see a lot of text where it's going to pair very well with certain things. Specifically, I think Nelly probably likes this thing. I think sometimes maybe when they're not expecting armor in your keyword, this might be decent to drop. So
I'm gonna give it some time to think, because like
yeah,
again,
there's a lot going
most
on.
of my value. Yeah, but holy crap, everything else on this card is gold except for the stat 5 on the melee attack.
All right. Well, let's not bury the lead anymore. Okay. Let's be truthful, you and I here.
This is insane. This
The
model
guild
is
may
crap.
have gotten, and it's toss up between a couple of models, but the guild may have gotten some of the best models in the release with the Nightcrawler network and the spy bots, the cam bots, whatever they are.
So technically, it's competing against Cedra, which
Yep.
a bunch of people, me included, we have seen this model just like win games.
Oh,
by itself,
Cedra's a
basically.
house. Yeah, Cedra's a good,
Yeah.
good model.
And Ban Ying has housed me
Matter of
multiple
fact.
times because it's way like Nathan. I don't know if you probably
there
haven't
you guys
seen
go.
it yet,
There's the reindeer right there.
but Ban Ying is
Yeah, that
fast as
thing,
crap. Like,
that thing
it is-
shocked me over the weekend. I was
Oh, so you
I
did
was
see
very
it.
impressed by it.
Yeah, it's super fast. It's like Like, I didn't
good.
even think it was going to be that fast, right? And then this thing is, like, just as cracked out. And I have seen it already in play. It is insane. It's almost impossible to get to it.
I've actually used it to score the second point of In Your Face before, too. Because he moves 6 and ignores...
I want to know.
And ignore-
So, dude, with expert giveaway or getaway, this was a gearling ability. How dare they print this on another model?
No, it's not.
But yeah, I think every part of his card works. Everything he does, like the range you can get out of the network is incredible. And for the current GG, where they allow arcing into strategy markers for interacts, it's incredibly strong.
Well, dude, no, I mean, Nathan, tell me how strong, because to me, this seems pretty good in a lot of situations with the spy network. Like, how good is that?
It's definitely won me games. Like, because you get the cameras out there, and then they can target the Nightcrawler network with their take and interact. The amount of value you get from that on like stuff the ballots is huge.
Yeah.
I think like if you're going into Nelly or Dashel at the very least into stuff the ballots, you need a Nightcrawler plan.
Yeah.
If you don't have one, you've already decided to lose.
Yeah, and I just like that I can summon cambots. That's always fun.
I mean, but this thing is... I'm just upset that it's outrageous that he can target himself with a camera bot.
How many cambots can I summon in a turn? That's the real question.
There are 3 models.
Yeah, you get 3 down. But like
You got the planter, you got the statue, you got the fish.
Yeah. It's just, again, it's outrageous that a camera bot... And you need a 7, but like, why? Why is he allowed to do this?
Talking about having plans to finish those off, there are certain keywords that are going to do it really easily. Misaki, Transmortis, things that have a totem with a shockwave.
Yeah.
Finish off your cameras like it's nothing.
Well, it has to be a shockwave that targets willpower or movement. If it's movement, they're kind of host.
Yeah. I think both those are movement, if I recall. You're not
Misaki
going to
is.
spend to keep them around.
Yeah, Misaki is.
So, like, those are really good. Things things that can do blasts that have the trigger to drop a second marker, the Cataclysm, can completely neuter your ability to work. But the thing is, and really ruin activation control, because you notice they don't have anything to stop them from ruining activation control. So you have to watch out for that. And they do make it so you kind of got to play in keyword, because otherwise, get a better angle ends up becoming teleport to another camera bot, and that's it. And that's really not great. But yeah, I like them. I've got a lot of value out of them in pretty much every game I've played. I don't know about... I haven't played enough into the non ballots games to really have a feel of it.
No, yeah, like, again, in the example that I was talking about, because I only got to play against them one time, and the stupid camera bot targeting him, like, if I engaged him, and he would just steal my because I would wait until he activates, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I jump into him, steal his tokens, or what? Well, not steal his tokens. Like, jump into him, try to kill him, try to deal with him, whatever, try to move him out of the way. And then you can then freaking have the camera target him, have him interact, and then he can just steal your stuff. It's like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? He can then jump outside of it, go onto a stupid whatchamacallit, one of the strategy markers, and again, the camera bots target him, boop, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
You need a 7, but it's like, why is this allowed? Because the thing is, like, you can do it through the camera. So if the camera is already right next to the thing, then he can still interact with the strategy markers, even if he can't drop a scheme marker.
Yep, and you set that up for next turn, so you're guarding in the meantime, because your exclusive interview or is there, yeah, it's a huge amount of pain. Like they are just brutal, and I don't know. I haven't faced anyone that truly felt like they had a good solution for him yet. I've definitely seen the shockwaves work,
Oh
and
yeah.
I've struggled again into DAW because of the low willpower. I was trying to flash photography.
Yeah.
I will say, Ulix really hates it when you throw some staggered onto his models in the deployment zone, though.
And it's so sad. Oh,
And then he couldn't charge them back. Oh, he was so mad.
bro, that is so sad to hear because it's you don't usually have a condition removal, and that is
Yeah.
a necessary thing. But yeah, no, like long story short, there's so much utility. They're not like offensive heavy, like they're not gonna murder your entire crew, but they're also not like unkillable. It's just that they do so much work before they die that it infuriates me.
If Weird came out tomorrow and said no more interact arcing, big thumbs up. Like, even though this is my own model, I find the idea of stuffing ballots through an ice pillar the most offensive thing I can possibly imagine.
It's pretty good.
So like if Weird came out tomorrow and said new FAQ, here's the deal, I'd be just fine.
Dude, I just love it that it's like the range is absurd because it's like 10 inches. It's something stupid like that. Because I remember Cedra, discard a card, put the model down, model that's down, Silent Snow now puts a whatchamacallit, a ice pillar at the edge of 6 inches, and then 1 inch from the ice pillar, then I can vote.
Yeah.
I did that. It is horrendous. Like
So I will say, here's how I dealt with that. I played against it final table in Nova, or not Nova, Richmond. I got Grimwell into Raspy.
Oh.
So she couldn't vote,
Right.
and that managed to solve it. But like, I don't like arcing anyways. I like models that have skin in the game to fight
Okay.
and to do things. But in particular, Arc interacts. Tomorrow, Weird could do that, and I'd be happy.
Dude. I don't get me wrong. I don't. It's not like an all or nothing. It's not like, oh, I definitely want them to stay, but like it is a new way to play the game that I find so fascinating for the people that enjoy doing that.
I'm an old man with a slow brain.
Because it's really hard to see. It's like, wait a minute. So the angles are. You just go through all of them. You're like, oh, my brain. Oh.
Yeah, an ice pillar showing up in my deployment zone was quite a.
It is so shocking
Wait,
every single time. Oh, and then Bon Yin, his thing, which is, not necessarily arcing for the important stuff. If I remember correctly, he's just fast. He's just gonna be wherever he wants to be.
I feel like so. I've played against it a couple times. My buddy John's had a proxy for it and ran it. I'm trying to think. I don't think he used Ninja Vanish enough
Oh.
to get that be anywhere you wanted it.
Yeah. It's absolutely something like that is some of the issues that you have to deal with these new models. It's like they're complex enough that you have to put in the time. And then once you see them in action, because I didn't know, like I thought Cedar was fine until I think it was like a combination between Pete and Brody that were like talking to me about like the stupid things that you can do with it, and then I was like, wait, really? And then Jim told me, it's like, you're forgetting about the Chimera upgrades, and you put all of those things together, and then I was like, dear God, this model is cracked.
It's terrifying. Like I just happened to get lucky and catch it on the other side, on the other transformation side, and get it down. But like, I remember I was like, oh, and just a ice pillar just for showing up. Yeah, it's great. Like, just there's so much value there.
All right.
Well, I was definitely impressed.
Final thoughts? Anything that you feel with all of these models? Yay or nay? Like I said my 4 models that I'm very excited about. Pretty sure that I'm gonna put the propagandist down in places that I shouldn't and still get some love out of it?
I think the place I could be most wrong, I could end up being completely wrong about Avel and Domingo, or Avel, you said, and Domingo.
Avel and Domingo, yes.
I could be completely wrong on them. They are the ones that I can't help but think there's some real potential for value there. Probably in Perdita, but I haven't. It certainly hasn't worked out for me. I haven't thought, oh, these guys are doing it for
Okay.
me. But someone else very well might, and I'll be impressed when they do. But
All right.
I feel pretty confident about where I stand on the rest of them. And I think it just, they're not. It's not the last wave. It's not that, oh my God, it's a new day dawning. Everyone get ready for the next level of power Malifaux.
I agree. And
Which I
love
think
it.
is good. Like, that's a tight line to walk. I mean, you were playing in 2E. You saw what it was like when we got that wave with Queeg and everyone that just nothing was good.
Buy new models, play some good combos, win games.
Yeah. You all fun with it. Like, that's all that matters. Like, and if you don't win, you try that model again or try something different. Like, you're big enough crews now that you don't have to play the battle.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about 2E. Nowadays, it's like make good decision making, which is the reason why I enjoy that. So basically, you're saying 2 thumbs up. These models are great.
I'm saying there are 4 models in this crew that I think are going to be regularly used. I think you can have a lot of fun with the rest. I think on a design front, that's about as good as you can ask for.
All right. Well, with that said, thank you guys for listening. Oh, Nathan, do you have anything to plug?
I got nothing to plug. I got absolutely nothing.
Thank you, Nathan, for coming.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Really appreciate it. And again, with that, don't forget to flip cards and flip tables. We'll see you all later.
Take care, folks.